Well, the job market showing signs it could be cooling off this spring. The Labor Department reporting employers added 175,000 jobs in April. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, that number is lower than the average 242,000 new jobs created per month in the past year. The unemployment rate ticking higher, now sitting at 3.9%, while wage growth and the number of hours worked per week both sinking from 1 year ago, in more signs of a slowdown. But here's the thing. These numbers may be good news for the Federal Reserve, as a slowing economy could spur the Fed to cut interest rates, which could bring much needed relief to consumers and home buyers. There we go. Some good news, maybe. Here to talk us through all of the data is Diane King Hall, financial anchor and correspondent. So, Diane, as we take a look at these numbers, some of it seems bad, some of it seems good. What do you make of it?
So, first off, 175,000 jobs added to the economy. So, the good thing is there were jobs added, right? Now, the unemployment number did tick up to 3.9%. That was a little worse than expected. Both numbers were worse than expected in general. So it does show some signs of cooling in the economy in general. But it does show that there is hiring in pockets, right? So if you're looking for a job in education and healthcare, there was growth there. That's where the strongest growth was. But when you look at it from a comparison standpoint, compare it month over month, it's a sharp decline from the prior month, where in March there were more than 300,000 jobs added to the economy. Now, the plus sign in terms of it being welcome news for the Federal Reserve, that's a sign they are looking for some cooling in the job market and in the economy to determine if they're going to cut rates, because the downside of rates being so high is if consumers are looking for a home, it is difficult to find one with such a costly interest rate, to find one within the interest rate that one may be looking for, right?
Right. So many people are talking about the housing market and layoffs, too. I just had a phone call late last night from a former colleague of mine. We were on the phone talking about losing his job suddenly, and it keeps happening. We keep hearing about this. And when I take a look at the list of big tech companies, all the layoffs that are happening, Tesla, UPS, eBay, Estee Lauder, Twitch, I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of cuts.
There are, and there are more cuts coming, right? And there are different industries and sectors being hit. When you look at the overall jobs report, where was the most weakness? That was business services. And coming into this report, even going back to last year, there was all this talk about the possibility of this being a white-collar recession, right? We're not in a recession yet, but there are signs of slowing in the economy in general. More job cuts are coming at a variety of companies, whether we're talking about, you mentioned UPS, Peloton, Google, according to CNBC, is making some cuts. Google's been on a cutting spree since last year in general, and you saw more cuts coming within the tech sector. Some of that has to do with also restructuring within that industry. So it's not necessarily about softness, because tech has been doing well, but other companies are facing difficulties with how their customer base is spending, and they're trying to adjust for those spending patterns. Tesla also making cuts, so much so that Tesla is reportedly also rescinding offers, which reminds me, and you'll remember this when you go back to the Great Recession, that was one of the difficulties in the Great Recession, where it wasn't just about cuts happening, it was also about people's offers being rescinded. We had never seen things like that before.
That goes down to interns, too, right?
Down to interns, which is wild. I mean, who can't afford to pay an intern?
Right? And these people are so excited, right? I was reading about that, where they got this offer, they're stoked, they've got this job, this internship, and then it's over. And real quick, too, about fast food. That's another area where we've seen some hit, and which is weird, because every time I take my kid to a fast food restaurant, I feel like there's a line out the door. But I will say I'm always surprised when I get the receipt. I go, what?
It's true. The prices have come up, and I'll say a phrase that you probably know as well: feelings aren't facts. I've seen lines as well before, but is it a consistent thing that we're seeing? And you had 3 major QSR, quick service restaurant types of companies, who called out some slowing in terms of their customer base. And it ranges from the type of company, whether it's a Starbucks, which has a higher ticket price, right, all the way to a McDonald's. And McDonald's, you're right, they have increased their prices. And there was all this talk about how much can these companies keep increasing prices before consumers, before you and I say, uncle, we're not going anymore. And each of these companies talked about, especially McDonald's CEO, talked about how the consumer is being more cautious and more discretionary with where they are spending their hard-earned dollars. And they're pulling back when it comes to, say, Yum Brands, which is the parent company of KFC, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Starbucks. All three are seeing some softness in the consumer.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.